some reason. But yeah, Bitcoin is still trying. So we're going to take a look at the microstructures in today's video to see whether the bulls, whether it looks like the bulls could drive the price higher more directly, or whether we have to expect a bit of a deeper pullback first. Now, there are a lot of bullish calls now on X, on YouTube. I see them everywhere. This is a little bit different to what we saw after the February low. Now, yes, there were bullish voices as well, but it feels like there are more bullish voices now, which is kind of funny. It's kind of ironic, you could say, because we are still in the same price region like pretty much half a year ago. So you could argue that we've just been in a 6-month range, even though it doesn't really look exactly like a range, but the market formed obviously a marginally lower low below the previous February low. That was in July. Now we see a bit of a bounce and we're moving back into the same price region like, we spent some time in March and April. So it remains my view that resistance for this corrective bounce, which I currently interpret as a corrective wave 2, so it's like the same structure 3-wave move up like we had it after the February low and after the November low. So nothing, no evidence that a major low is in, but you can see that the bulls are starting to get a little bit, stronger. They're coming out of their caves. I'd be the last person, who'd have a problem with a bull market, So I'd love it. If we could rally to all-time highs from here, I'd love it. I just can't see it as the most probable scenario just yet. It would require more evidence. In yesterday's update, I showed you what we need to see to confirm this more bullish scenario. But it's very often the case that in these corrective rallies, even in bear markets, of course, the market can go higher. Very often, though, in bear markets, then the market gets rejected from the 200-day moving average, and that is this one here. It's around 72K at the moment, a level I highlighted a few days ago as possible target. And so therefore, I find it quite interesting. It's just an interesting observation that there are so many bullish voices now. They weren't as loud back in March, even though the price was the same, February, March, which is a bit strange. So in my opinion, nothing has really changed. Bitcoin, spent a bit more time sideways, formed a marginally lower low, but this correction still looks fairly incomplete. And I think at least one more low, maybe 2 more lows towards the 39K level, possibly in Q4, seems very, very likely. And that view really hasn't changed. This bear market looks so similar. It's so similar to the 2022 bear market. We could currently be in the bounce here after the June lows 2022. Happened back then as well, into the August highs, and then we got another move down. All right, so that could happen this time as well. I'll of course keep you updated about the relevant thesis here and the bear market outlook. It really hasn't changed. Resistance is unchanged. If we break above resistance, look, then we can talk about something different. There will then be a bullish setup. If it plays out, happy days. I think we're all happy. Because even if the price breaks out to the upside, it will most likely form a sequence of 5 waves first and 3 waves down. And then this would be a support zone, which could act as a springboard for a rally to new highs. So we should also be able to see that if it actually happens. I'd say now let's take a look at the shorter time frame. Before we go to the smaller time frame, just a quick reminder, you can also follow us on X for a lot of additional updates. There are many exclusive videos. You often get informed a little bit sooner. Already posted a Bitcoin update here earlier today. So in case the videos are not frequently enough for you here on YouTube, feel free to follow us there as well. That's the More Crypto Online channel, and it's the channel with the golden check mark. So let's take a look at the shorter time frame for Bitcoin. I have to say, Bitcoin has not moved much since the last video update. However, the uptrend remains intact for now. What I find quite positive here is that Bitcoin is currently working on still this ABC structure to the upside. We're holding support levels, okay? So the overall uptrend remains intact. Please note, this remains, in my opinion, a corrective uptrend. If Bitcoin is really in a proper upside impulse, well, normally Bitcoin is moving much more aggressively. Yeah, here what we have is not a very nice looking structure from the 20th of July low. You have not a very impulsive looking subwave structures, but bear in mind we're here on the 30-minute chart. The overall idea is that Bitcoin is in a local uptrend. And so this entire uptrend started down here on the 1st of July. I mean, technically it's not an uptrend, it's a counter trend move because the overall larger degree trend is down, as I mentioned. So it's, it would be expected that here and there support levels break on the micro level because a counter trend move to the upside, even though it goes up, it's usually not a very aggressive move. Price action kind of confirms that. And as you can see, if I activate the 38.2 retracement here, this is exactly where the price got rejected. That's the resistance level I showed you on the larger time frame. That's the larger time frame one, and together with that one, we had here the smaller degree 123.6 extension at $66,846. That is one of the Fibonacci levels in our resistance box that we talked about here yesterday. The price got rejected there, not strongly. We're still not below a previous swing low. We're still holding Fibonacci support, and it still does look like a three-wave decline. So honestly, to keep the trend higher, Bitcoin should, or let's say to keep the counter trend move higher alive, Bitcoin should ideally start to move to the upside from here. But yeah, as said, it does look like an ABC structure to the downside. So without a break of support, with only three-wave movements to the downside, it's very much possible that Bitcoin can still be in the local upside impulse. What I don't really like, is this structure here. It doesn't look very impulsive, but again, there can be some distortions on the 30-minute time frame. So I'm giving the bulls here in the short term, at least, the benefit of the doubt, as long as the micro support level is holding. Any decisive break below 65,339 will shift the focus to the last swing low at $63,750. That's the last swing low of the internal wave 2. And that would be a level that could be tested should upper support break. And then obviously we'll focus on the next swing lows. But for now, the focus is on higher prices. And again, it is seen as a bearish counter trend move, if that makes sense. So surely short-term bullish, but part of a larger degree counter trend move because we're still in an overall bear market. So the next objective for the bulls will be to, generate an impulsive response to this micro support, and then ideally reach the next upside fib level at 69K. I'm not sure if we're going to do that today or tomorrow, but that would be the next objective here for the bulls. And then maybe we'll get a few more highs here, maybe even into early August, and then I'm going to watch closely for signals that the larger wave 2 rally is over. I'll of course stay close to that. Today is a quiet day for crypto. I'll keep you updated. If you want to dive deeper, if you want to learn more about Elliott Wave and get access to some more tools and content, feel free to check out our gold membership. As a gold member, you can save 50% on your first month if you use the voucher code in the comment section together with the link. You also get access to our Discord feed where you can find a lot of different updates for different cryptos, crypto stocks, Bitcoin, Ethereum, short-term updates, long-term updates. You can ask questions here. You get access to all my live charts. You can even request charts, and a lot more can be found there. But really, that's only one thing. You now also get access to our terminal. In our terminal, we have more than 70 tools, indicators for you guys. Plus, we now also have an academy with dozens of articles from our academy that we built over the years. It's now all in the terminal as well, plus video courses. They are available here as well. You can browse our entire library with charts and much more. So if that's something that interests you, feel free to check it out. This is all information that comes from years of making updates. We have more than 40,000 written updates in our